أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي اللهم انفعنا بما علمتنا وعلمنا ما ينفعنا وزدنا علما اللهم إني أسألك علما نافعا ورزقا طيبا وعملا متقبلا آمين يا رب العالمين. Okay, so it is good to quickly review the rules, and if there is a confusion then you can ask, because again we are going to be practicing, or the Mujarrad families that we will do today will have the same rules. So the rule number one is, in most of the cases we will see that the wow will change to the ya, and then I said in the first class that there are going to be a few exceptions in the Mujarrad family. Today we will see what the exceptions are, and we said that in all the Mazid Fihi families, the Naaqis Wawi and the Naaqis Ya'i will behave exactly the same. So from our family 2 to 10, it's exactly the same whether it is Naaqis Wawi or Naaqis Ya'i. So the only exception that we will see in the Mujarrad Abwaab is the Bab Nasara. Bab Nasara will behave a little different, and then the rest of the Babs will behave normal, like the Waw will change to a Ya, and then the Wawi and the Ya'i will be exactly the same. Then the second rule is, if Waw and the Ya come at the end and then there is an alif before it, yes, and it is an ism, so what will happen that the Waw and or the Ya will change into the Hamza. So this rule is only for an ism, and we said that Duawun will become Duawun, and we did this in practice on the rest of the pastors too for family 3, 4, 7, 8, and 10. Then the third rule we said is, if the Waw or the Ya comes as a third root and has a kasra or a dhamma. So the only two things we have to consider, that it should have either a kasra or a dhamma, and the letter before should have a kasra. So then what happens? It will change into a sukoon. Ya will take a sukoon on it. So the exception is what? That it should not have a fatha on it. So if it is like this, if it is al or the ya, means here the ya has a fatha and the dal has a kasra. So now what will happen? That the ya will keep its haraka, the ya will keep its fatha, whereas in the case of a dhamma on the ya and a kasra before it, the ya haraka will change into a sukoon, and similarly in the case of a kasra and a kasra before it, then the ya again will take a sukoon on it. So we practice this rule also. Then the fourth rule was, when we want to make the Naaqis majzoom, then the vowel will drop, and it is going to be in the majzoom wherever we have the huruf jazima, or whenever we are making the amar and the nahi, so the vowel will always drop. The fifth rule is that some families, okay, the master patterns were only related to the Mazid Fihi families. We have practiced it, so we don't need them today. Like for family 1, we know that all Mujarrad families, for Masar, what we have to do, we have to go to the dictionary. Okay. And then this is the last rule that we did in Ajwa, that when the Waw or the Ya has a haraka on it, can have any haraka, fatha, kasra or dhamma. We look at the letter before it, and the letter before has a fatha. Then what happens that the Waw or the Ya changes to the alif. When we were doing ajwaf, I gave you the conditions, and I said that the letter after should not be a sakin letter, or the letter after should not be a mud letter. But here those conditions are not there, because this is not the ajwaf. So the conditions will be different. The rule is the same, but the conditions will be different. Today what conditions we will follow? That we will not apply this rule on the pairs. Wherever we see the ani or the aini combination, only there we are not going to apply this rule of changing the waw or the ya into an alif where we see a fatha before it. The rest of the places we will apply it, and inshallah when we come to that we will practice it. Okay, so today we have to start the Mujarrad families. Do we have Ismail with us now?
Yes.
Okay, alhamdulillah. So Sulasi Mujarrad, we are starting today, and the good thing about us is that only the Naaqis Wawi and Yai comes in 4 families: Bab Nasara, Bab Daraba, Bab Fataha, and Bab Samia. In Bab Nasara, it is only going to be Naaqis Wawi. In Bab Daraba, it's only going to be Naaqis Yai. When it comes to Bab Fataha and Bab Samia, so we have both the options. In Bab Fataha, it can be either Naaqis Wawi or Naaqis Yai. And also in Bab Samia, it can be either Naaqis Wawi or Naaqis Yai. So this is easy. If it is Bab Nasara, has to be Naaqis Wawi. If it is Bab Daraba, it has to be Naaqis Yai. Only in these two Babs, we have to check whether it is Naaqis Wawi or Naaqis Yai. So why is it that I have highlighted Bab Nasara? Because I said that only Bab Nasara will behave a little different. The rest of the 3 Babs will behave the same. How is it that they behave the same? That the Vaw will change into a Ya in all the 2 Babs. Okay, here Bab Daraba, we will not have the Naqis Wawi. So means in Bab Fataha and in Bab Samia, the Vaw of Naqis Wawi will change into Aya, and it's going to be exactly the same as Naqis Yai, like we did in the Mazid Fihi family. So there is absolutely nothing to worry about. This Bab Nasara, slight changes there will be, and we will see it right in the end, so we'll understand it. So inshallah, let us see the. Okay, if there is a question, then you can ask. Otherwise, we'll start with Bab Daraba. Is there a question to ask? Let me see who is. Okay, Sister Sarah has joined. She is unwell, so please make dua for her that may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give her complete shifa. Because we miss her when she doesn't participate. Okay, so Bab Daraba, it is Daraba, so Hadaya. So, Ismail, which rule are we going to apply?
Um. You're going to change the ya into an alif.
Right, so yes. So Ya has a fatha and before it is Dal. Dal has a fatha, so the Ya changes into an alif. So Hadaya becomes Hada. Now the present tense, Yahdiyu. What happens here?
Um. The um. The dhamma is dropped and it changes into a sukoon.
Yes, Ya has a Dhamma on it and before it the Dal has a Kasra. So now this Dhamma on the Ya becomes a Sukoon. So from Yahdiyu, Yadribu, we get Yahdi. Again, we have practiced this rule, so it's not too difficult. Now, what is happening in Hudan? Hudan is basically Hudayan. So, like we did for the ism file, ism Mafool, like wherever you see that the Ya has a tanween on it, and before it you see it is either a fatha or a kasra. Here is a fatha. Now we see that, okay, we will be able to apply some rule, hence we should open the tanween. We open the tanween, and then what we see that Ya has a fatha on it and before it is also fatha, so the Ya changes into the alif, and what do we get? We get Hudan. Again, what do we see? It is a problem of ijtimai sakinain. Noon is a sound letter and alif is the weak letter, so we must drop the alif, and what do we get? We get Hudan, and when we get Hudan we can write it in the closed form, and Hudan and Ya is just for the way of writing. So is the masdar clear to everyone? Or is there a problem in the masdar, how we did it?
Alhamdulillah, it's okay, I think.
The only thing can you explain a little bit about Hudan and the less Huda? I mean, the Ya is taking place of Noon. Is it because of the sound? Because Hudan and Hudan sound the same?
Exactly. So first step, we open the tanween. Okay, Hudan.
Right.
Then we apply the rule that ya has a fatha, before it is a fatha, ya changes to the alif. And what do we get? We get hudan. Problem of ijtimai sakin, and the alif is dropped and we get hudan. Now, what we do when we get hudan, we can write the hudan in the closed form with the tanween. So then we write it with hudan. And Api, remember I explained that whenever there is going to be a fatha or the tanween of fatha, then in the Naaqis words, we should write the ya without the dot. So that ya without the dots we have written.
Right, right. I understand now. Jazakallah.
Okay, alhamdulillah. Now, hadiyun. Hadiyun is easy. Now, who wants to explain this? How do we come to hadin?
Okay, I'll explain.
Yes, Ismail, go ahead.
Okay. So first, you open up the hadiyun and you
Hmm.
put a noon in place of the double dhamma. Then,
Okay.
so hadiyun. Then
Hmm.
uh, we take away the dhamma from the ya,
Yes, but why is it where we are doing it? Why are we giving a sukoon to the ya?
because the dal has a kasra and ya is a weak letter.
No, ya has a dhamma. So ya has a dhamma and before it is a dal with a kasra. So hence we should give a sukoon to the ya.
Okay. Yes. So so then it changes to hadin,
Right,
and then they
hadin.
cannot be two sukuns together. So and the ya is a weak letter. So we cut off the ya and it's hadin, and then we
Okay.
close it back up.
Yes, so this is the open form hadin and then we write it in the closed form with the tanween and this is how we get hadin. This is exactly the same rules that we have applied on the ismul fa'il for all the mujarrad families. It's nothing new here. Okay, now this hudiya.
Mm.
Are we going to apply any rule here?
Um, I don't think so. It's just
Yes,
normal.
hudiya, because the ya has a fatha and before it is a kasra, so there is no rule to be applied here. So we just keep it as it is, hudiya. The past passive will not change. You can remember one way of it. Okay. Then next one is mine. This one, present passive. Yuhdayu.
Yes. So yuhtayu. Uh, so the ya is cut off because there's a fatha on the dal. It will like it will have the sound, and
Hmm.
and it will become yufta.
Yes. So the ya will change. The ya has a dhamma and before it is a fatha. The ya changes into an alif. So we get yuhda, and this is a way of writing it. Like remove the alif and put a ya without the dots. Okay. Maf'ulun. So what do we get when we put ha dal ya on it? On the pattern of maf'ulun,
Mahtuyun.
mahduyun. Okay, mahduyun. Now, someone will ask a question that why is it that we are not going to open the tanween over here? Because we are only going to open the tanween when we see a haraka on the letter before it and then we are able to apply a rule. There is no rule and where it says that, if ya has a haraka and before it is a letter with a sukoon, so hence there is no need to open the tanween. So this is one thing. Next thing, when we did the word hayyinun, remember I said that when vav and ya are coming together, one of them has sukoon on it and the other one is mutaharrik, then the vav changes into a ya. So I will explain this rule one more time because we haven't done it. We haven't done it so many times. I will. So what is happening? The vav and the ya are coming together. one of them is sakin and the other one is mutaharrik. So what will happen that the vowel, always the vowel must change. So the vowel must change in this case into a ya. So when two yas are coming together, we can write them with the idgham, with the shadda on it. Can we?
Yes.
Yes. This is what we will do. So we can write it with the shadda, and this is how we get mah. Okay, and also mahduyun, but actually what will happen also, this haraka will change into a kasra because of the ya. Because you see, okay, I'll do it in one more step so that it is clear to everyone. So what do we get? Mahduyun. So again, when we pronounce it, it is difficult to pronounce. So in the next step, what we will do, the ya is not going to change because in now there are two yas. So when two weak letters come together, they become very strong. So they are not going to change now. Rather, what they will do, they are going to change the haraka before it. So this dhamma will change. Sometimes this also happens. The dhamma should change according to the ya. What haraka comes with the ya, akasra comes with the ya. So I don't know what is happening today. Yeah. So this is how we get mahdiyun. Okay, one more time I'm going to explain this. See, when the vav and the ya come in any sigha together, one of them has sukoon and the other one has a haraka on it, then what happens? The vav becomes a ya. So in place of mahduyun, so the vav changes into a ya. And when we see two yas together, the first one has a sukoon and the second has a haraka on it, we can write them with a shadda. So this is what we have done. Now what is it? We got the form mahduyun. We know that the ya and the dhamma are not compatible. So we have to change one of them. Most of the time, what do? We change the vowel according to the haraka. But here we cannot change the vowel because there are two yas and two yas together have become very strong. So rather what they will do, they will change the dhamma according to themselves, and what they will make it, they will make it a kasra because kasra and ya are compatible. Hence we get the sigha mahdiyun. So I hope now it is clear to everyone.
Yes. Alhamdulillah.
Okay. Ismail, what do we get? Al-amru minhu?
الأمر منه إهدي.
Yes. What should we do in ihdi?
Sorry?
What should we do? Drop the
Yeah.
ya. Yes. Al-amru minhu ihdi. Drop the ya because it is the majzoom form. Wa nahyu anhu?
لا تهدي.
La tahdi. Again drop the ya. Okay. Wa zarfu minhu? Again.
Yeah,
Just a
Mr.
minute. Yes, it's going to be mahdan, but how do we get the mahdan? Okay, always the naqis ya, all the naqis, whether it's naqis ya'i or naqis wawi, all of them will have the zarf on the, just one pattern for it, that is maf'alun. So just one, this one. So the when we put it on the pattern of maf'alun, what do we get? We get mahdayun. See, now ya has a tanween and before it is a fatha. Now there is a, it makes sense to open this sigha. So we open the sigha and we get, what do we get? Some other sister, please do this now. Open the sigha, we get mahdayun.
Assalamualaikum. Okay, I'll have a go. So the ya has a haruka, but the letter before's got a fatha, so the ya becomes alif mahdan.
Very good, mahdan, right.
Okay,
Then,
and we have two sukoons together, so we drop the alif, so it
okay,
becomes
yes.
mahdan.
Right. Exactly. So this is simple. The same thing is being happening here also,
Yeah.
mahdan, and
Then
then
we close the tanween,
we
yes.
close the tanween, yes. Then we close the tanween.
And then because of the fathatain, we bring the ya back.
Exactly, because now we see the fatha, double fatha, so we bring the ya, and this ya should be without the dot. So this is how we get mahdan. Okay, so this has to be just one pattern, maf'alun. Okay, so we don't have to worry about the rest of the patterns when it is the naqis, whichever. Okay, is anything not clear? Then you can ask, otherwise we'll quickly move to the next. It's to Bab Fataha. Okay. Okay, someone, if someone wants to do this, then you can do this. Otherwise, Ismail will do this one and someone will do the next one. Let Ismail do this and then. Okay, Ismail. As the other sister, we have 2, 3 more families, so you just be prepared and then we'll do it, inshallah. Okay, Ismail Taga, yeah, what should it become?
طغى طغى.
Taga. Yes, the ya becomes into an the alif.
Yes.
Ya has a fatha before it is a fatha, so try to explain it so that you know everyone understands and you also get the practice of explaining. What happens to the present tense?
Um. The uh because there's a fatha on the line before
Hmm?
the ya with the dhamma, the ya with the dhamma will be dropped, and instead there will be an alif. So
Right.
yeah. So يطغى.
Yatwa, very good. Master, we checked it from the dictionary. It's not going to change. Tughyanan remains tughyanan. Okay. Fahuwa tughyun. What happens to tughyun?
Yeah, it gets dropped and
Sorry,
and
what should I do? First step?
oh yes. Open up the
Open the tanween.
yes,
Right. Open the tanween. Next step, apply the rule.
yes. Drop the ya.
Yes, we will drop the ya. But why should we drop the ya?
Because it's a weak letter before the noon with the sukun.
Okay, first, oh, just a minute. Let me explain this. The ya has a dhamma on it, and before it is a kasra, so the ya should first take a sukoon, and now we should drop the ya. So 2 steps of it. Okay, so now what do we get? We get in dropping the ya because ya and noon both have sukoon, and now we can write it how? We can write it with a closed form. And what is going to be the closed form?
طاغٍ.
Yes, ta'in. Subhanallah. Ta'in. Okay. So this is exactly the same thing that we have already done. Now, tughya, is it going to change?
No.
Okay. Then, yutghayu. Yutghayu becomes
غا.
yutgha. Right. Okay, we'll try to do it quickly, and if there is any sigha you don't understand, then you can ask and Ismail will explain. Again, this one, because it is a little difficult, and we haven't done too much of it. So the same way we see this tanween, again I'm explaining, we are not going to open it because there is no use of opening the tanween. Opening the tanween is useful when we see before it is either a fatha or a kasra, only then we can apply the rule. Here, because there is a sakin before the tanween, we are not going to open the tanween. This might be a problem. You might get confused when you are solving it yourself, that why is it that we are opening the sighas in the other forms where we see a tanween and we are not opening it here, because now there is no use of opening it. What do we see in the sigha? We see that the waw and the ya are coming together one of them has the sukoon, the waw has a sukoon, and the ya is mutaharrik. So what will happen? The waw changes into a ya. So double ya, like this. Now what we do? We are going to do the idgham. The ya and the ya, we write them together with the shadda. Okay. Now, the dhamma and the ya are not compatible, but what is going to change here? Because there are two yas and two yas together have become strong, so the dhamma will not have the strength to change this ya. Rather, what will happen? That the yas will change the haraka on the ghain, and compatibility of the ya is a kasra. So we get matghiyun. Is this clear to everyone?
Yes.
Okay. Al-amru minhu, Ismail.
Yes, الأمر منه يطغى.
إتقى. الأمر منه إتقى ونهي عنه
لا تطغى.
لا تتقى. Okay. وَظَرْفُ minhu. Now we are not going to do the whole of it because I guess that everyone must have understood. You can practice it yourself. Just tell me, Ismail, what are we going to get? The zarf?
مطغا.
Matqan, yes. So, matqan. And this is how we will write matqan, the writing the ya. Next one is Bab Samia. So again in Bab Samia, whether it is Naaqis Wawi or it is Naaqis Ya'i, in both the cases we will have the same, same sarf sagheer. The waw will change into the ya, and the both of them will behave the same way. Just a minute, let me see the participants. Okay, Sister Shima has joined in. Who wants to do this one now? Ismail is not doing. Let him take some rest, and someone else do this.
I can try, but you have to help me. Okay.
Who is it? I don't recognize the
I'm
voice.
happy.
Too much. Okay, Api. Too much background noise.
Okay. So this is Bab Samia. So Nasiya.
Okay.
Then I think Nasiya is the same.
Nasya remains the same, yes, because Ya has a fatha and before it is a kasra. So this is not a condition where it should change. So Nasya remains Nasya. The present tense.
Okay, so yen sa'u, what happened here is we're gonna drop the ma on ya and make it a sukun because the word before it has a fatha, so it becomes yen sa.
It becomes a alif. Ya becomes an alif,
Right.
and then not sukun. Sukun comes when it is a kasra. So becomes yansa,
Yen
and this
sa.
is how
Okay.
we write it.
Okay.
Nasiya yansa.
But we pronounce it yen sa rather than yen
Right.
sa. Okay.
Yes, exactly.
Alhamdulillah. And then nisyanan is the masdar, and I think masdar is not changing here.
Masdar will not change. There is no problem with the masdar, so we're going to just leave it. Okay,
Okay.
nasiyun.
Nasiyun is the ism fa'il,
Okay.
and it's nasiun, so we have to nasiun. Just let me think. Okay, so this is ism fa'il, so we have to open the tanween.
Okay, open the tanween. Because see, before we see a tanween on the ya, and before it is a kasra, so now we can apply some rule. Hence, we are opening the tanween. So if when we open the tanween, always has to be a place where we can apply some rule.
Right. So in here, the ya, there's a kasra before the ya, So the ya becomes alif,
No, no,
right?
kasra. Kasra.
Oh, so yeah. So it becomes two yas.
No, no, Abhi, it will take a sukoon. Nasin. It has a
Oh,
dhamma
because
on
it had
it.
kasra before the ya.
Yes,
I
yes,
see it
yes.
now. So nasin, and then okay, after that nasin, okay, because it's a samya family, so it's uh, so what we gonna do here is we're gonna put the tanween back.
No, no. First of all, drop. There are problem
No,
of two
drop the
sukoons.
sukoon. Yeah, two sukoon.
Yes.
So we're gonna drop the ya from here,
Hmm.
and the other way to write is nasin, nun
Nas.
alif and sin with kasratan.
Right. Alhamdulillah. Yes, Alhamdulillah, you've understood. Okay, then.
So
Um,
nusia is not usually the past passive is not changing, so nusia remains the
yes,
same.
and the reason is that the ya has a fatha and before it is a kasra. So in this case, we will not be able to apply any rule here.
Okay. So now the
Yun sayu.
uh, yun sayu. So yun sayu, it's still the same yun sayu, because if you see yun
No, no,
sayu,
no.
no.
Ya
So
has a dhamma and before it is a fatha. No.
yeah has a dhamma before it's a also the dhamma would change into sukun.
Alif. Jab
Alif.
whenever there is a fatha before
Uh-huh.
and the ya has anything, fatha, kasra, dhamma, it should always change into alif. When there is a kasra here and then here is a dhamma or a kasra, then it changes into a sukoon. So look at the letter before. If the letter before is a fatha, it will always change into the alif.
Or because it matches the sound like and fatha. Is it the rule?
Sort of, you can say for your understanding.
Okay.
If that makes more sense to you, you can say that way. So
So
now this ya becomes an alif, and what do we do? We get yun sa, yun sa.
write it with a ya with no
Yes.
no dot.
Hmm. Okay, that's it. Okay, this one.
Okay.
Mansu yun.
Yun,
Mansu yun.
yun. So we have to open the tanween first.
No, Api, this is the Ismul Mafool because the Ya has a haraka and the Waw is a sakin. So we will not be able to apply any rule here. Now what should we do? This is the Ismul Mafool. Ismul Mafool, the Waw and the Ya coming together. One of them is sakin, the other one is mutaharrik. What should we do?
We drop the wow, and then we
Okay,
put.
I will. No, Api, just, okay, let me explain this again. Oh, stop.
I'm sorry. I'm
Okay.
trying to.
No, no, no. This is because of the typing I'm saying is the it's wrong words are coming. Uh, I'm explaining. Don't worry. The wow has a sukoon on it, and the
Mm-hmm.
ya is mutaharrik. So when two weak letters come like this, one of them is sakin, the other one is mutaharrik. Change the wow into a ya.
Okay.
So this is the ismul only related. This rule is only about the ismul maf'ul. Also, we did it in the word. Remember, we did it in hayyinun, and I said it is on the pattern of
Yes.
fa'il. So the same thing, when you see the waw and the ya together, one of them has sukoon, the other one has a haraka. You're going to change the waw into a ya and merge the two.
Okay. So Mansuyun.
No, but the waw changes into the ya,
Yeah.
and the ya should merge together. The ya and the ya should merge together. We write it with a shadda.
Shadda.
Man suyun.
Mansuyun.
Yes. Now what happens that the dhamma on the scene and the ya are not matching. But what should change now?
Noon.
The ya and the dhamma are not matching. So most of the time the dhamma changes the ya. But here because there are two yas, so that makes the ya stronger. Hence the ya are going to change the haraka on the scene. And we get mansiyun.
Yun because of ya matches with the kasra.
Exactly. Now, if still this is not making any sense to you, then what you can do, you can say that all the babs samia, uh, again, if it is a problem of understanding, then you can say that bab daraba, bab fataha, bab samia will all have the ismul mafool on the pattern of mahdiyun. Mahdiyun.
Oh, so that's the easiest way to remember it. Yeah.
Yes, if that makes sense to you, this whole
Yes, it's good.
explanation doesn't make sense, so then you can say. And the Naaqis Wawi, when we come to it, we'll talk about it. Okay, Mahdiyun, Mansiyun. Okay, Al-Amru Minhu,
Al-amru minhu un unsa, and we're gonna drop the um insi.
yeah,
Sorry,
from it.
we're gonna
Hmm.
drop the ya because we make it majzoom, so insi,
Right. Al-Amru
and
Minhu
then
Insi, okay. Wanahi Anhu,
la tansi, dropping the ya.
exactly. Dropping. La Tansi, Wazarfu Minhu.
Mansiyun, mahdiyun, mansiyun.
No, this is the Zarf.
Oh, this is I always think that. Okay, so the zerf would be um, min. Okay, so we are dropping the tanween here, and then we are putting a ya change to an alif. Is that the
Let
case?
us, yes, let us do the whole of it. Just a minute,
Okay.
because you have some confusion. Let us do still together. Okay, open the tanween. Why we are opening the tanween? See, the scene has a fatha, so we can apply rule. When there is a sukoon here, there is no use of opening the tanween. Is this thing clear? That why is it that some places we are opening the tanween, and why is it that at some places we are not opening the tanween?
So you just told us that if because there is a fatah here,
Yes,
we
just
can
a minute,
open the
Api.
tanween.
Let the other sisters also respond so that I understand everyone is on the same track. We have 9 sisters, so is it clear that why is it in some cases we open the tanween and some places we just leave the tanween, not open it?
Yes, sister, when there is no haraka before, then we don't open the tanween.
Thank
And
you
when
so
there
much,
is a
Sister Sarah. Yes, Jazakallah. And when there is a haraka, what do we do? Then we have to
when there is a
open the.
haraka, then we open it. Otherwise, we don't.
Exactly. And we open it because when there is a haraka before it, then we can apply some rule. Okay. Okay, Api, now let us continue.
So mansiyun becomes mansun, and then
Mansab.
we have to see the haraka
Oh,
on.
sorry, just a minute. Mansa. Yun. Okay, Mansa. Yun.
So now we have the sukun on the noon, mansayun, and we have a fatha. So the fatha would change to alif. No, this part I'm
Yes,
not getting.
exactly. Yes, Alhamdulillah. It is fatha, so it is going to change into the alif, mansan. We will get, okay, then what happens that the problem of istimai sakinain,
Okay.
drop the alif, what do you get?
Mansa,
Mansan,
mansan,
yes. Mansan. You get mansan. And you write it in the closed form.
mansun,
And because this is the tanween
mansun.
of
Sorry, it's
fatha, so we
fatha.
should write the
Yes,
alif.
fatha.
Yes, Alhamdulillah, Api, good job. So most of the things you have understood, but
I,
a few
I'm
things you
terrible
have
on
to reset.
Mujarrad
No,
family.
Api, don't think like this. Alhamdulillah, you've done well. Okay, so these are the
Exactly.
3 babs. All of them, what is the good thing is that whether what Naaqis Bawi or Yai, both of them have behaved the same way. But now the last bab for today is Bab Nasara. What happens in Bab
I have a
Nasara?
question.
Yes, sister.
for present tense we said yansa, but then for fi'al amr we wrote it as insi.
Sister, I will explain. Just a minute. Let me go there. Maybe I made a mistake. Which verb it is? Samya. Yes, thank you. Has to be. Mm, yes, my typing mistake. My typing mistake. Jazakallah, Sister Tamanna, you corrected. Also this one. Okay, Alhamdulillah, Jazakallah. Insa also here also. It's Insa, not Insa. It's just like my typing mistake. Now, Bab Nasara, what will happen that some of the sigas, the vow will remain a vow, and in some of the sigas, the vow will change into the ya and will behave normal like we have done previously. So this Bab, the sigas that will keep the vow past active, the present active, ism maf'ul, and also the masdar, masdar also. Yes, these four sigas, the vow will remain, and the rest of the sigas, the vow will change into a ya. So dal, ain, vow we are putting in the bab nasara. Okay. What happens here? Someone wants to do it, then you can do. Otherwise, Ismail will do for us. Okay, Ismail, please do.
Okay. So da'wah,
Hmm.
the wow gets dropped, and because of the ayn having a fatha,
Hmm.
the wow replaces the alif. So
Very
da'a,
good. Very good. Alhamdulillah. Da'a. Okay. Present tense.
um, the present tense will be yad'u because
Yes.
how do you say?
Although I haven't given us a rule for it, but similarly, what will happen when there is a the yad ovu, it has to be dhamma. Yansuru yad'uhu. So when the vow has a dhamma on it, and before it is a dhamma, so what will happen like the we did previously when the ya has a dhamma on it and before it is a kasra. So vow has a dhamma and before it is a dhamma. This vow will change into a sukoon. So we will have yad'u. The vow will take a sukoon. I'm not going to separately give this rule because it's just one Siga taking this rule now. So if we need it in Sarsavi, then I'm going to write the rule for us. Just remember that da'a and yadu'u, again, it doesn't seem appropriate when we pronounce it. This rule is similar to it. Vow has a dhamma on it and before it is a dhamma. So the vow changes into a sukoon, similar to the rule of the ya that we have done in detail. So yad'uhu becomes yad'u. Okay, it is a wow. Dua wun. What happens here? This is the rule of the masdar that we have to apply here. What happens here?
Uh,
Dua wun becomes,
dua du'a'un
yes, the vow changes into
hamza.
hamza, yes. Because this is an ism and we see that va is the last letter, before it is the alif, so this va should change into the hamza. So instead of du'a'un, we get du'a'un. Okay, now this is the ismul fa'il. Now it is going to be exactly the same. We have done it so many times, so let us just do it directly. Da'iyun, what should we get? The direct answer, Ismail?
Yes, da'in.
Da'in. Okay. Still someone has a problem, you can ask me as a personal message or you can watch the recording because we have done it so many times. What about this? Du'iyya. Is the du'iyya going to change?
Sorry.
Doria will change or remain the same?
Du'ya will remain the same.
Remain the same. Now, you.
Yes. So, the ya will get the ya will get dropped and the dhamma, and because the ayn has a fatha on it, the ya will be replaced with an alif.
Very good. So what do we get? We get yud. Yud. Alhamdulillah. This vowel, the maful of naqis vowel is easier because only what we have to do mad of one. We just have to do the merging. Vow and the vow, we have to write it with the shadda. That's all. It's not going to be like the naqis yani. Probably was a little difficult for some of you, and some of you must have understood. Mad of one. Okay. Al-amru minhu.
Ud'u.
Al-amru minhu. Drop the ain. Wanahi anhu.
لا تد لا 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 تدعو.
La. La tad. Okay. And the zarf is
So that is mad'an.
mad'an. Yes. Mad'an. It's just going to be open the tanween, apply the rule, and close the tanween, which is going to do it directly because we have done so many times. It's mad'an. Okay. This is all the families, alhamdulillah. No, I wanted to do. Sorry.
Excuse me, can I say something?
Yes. What is it?
I read that in the Quran where it says, وَإِذَا سَأَلَكَ عِبَادِي عَنِّي فَإِنِّي قَرِيبٌ أُجِيبُ دَعْوَةَ الدَّاعِ إِذَا دَعَانِ.
I don't understand the question.
Remember in the Quran when it says وَإِذَا
Yes,
سَأَلَكَ
yes, yes.
عِبَادِي عَنِّي فَإِنِّي قَرِيبٌ
Mm-hmm.
دَعْوَةَ الدَّاعِ إِذَا دَعَانِ.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So this is the same. We will have, if we have time, then we'll try to go into it. Okay, let us do the self kabeer. I don't think so we'll be able to do a lot of it, but we'll try to do some of it. Okay, we have 20 minutes, so as much as we can, inshallah. Okay, so this is about the masdar hudan. So what is it that I want us to understand now? It is saying whether it is in the rafa or the nasab or the jar status, what is going to happen, and then we'll talk about this ayah also. So let us start with the normal. Rafa is going to be hudayun, nasab is going to be hudayan, and jar is going to be hudayin. Right? We know it now. Now let us do it one by one and see that where are we going to reach. Some sister Tamanna, now you do this one.
Okay.
Hudan, we open the tanween. Then what happens?
So Hudayan.
Open the tanween, okay? What rule should I apply?
Ya has fatha. And the letter before it is also fatha. So
Ya should change into? Ya should change into?
alif.
Yes, alhamdulillah. So we get hudan, right?
Yes.
What
Then
should I
two
do now?
sukuns together. Two sukuns together. So I'll drop alif.
Drop the alif, yes. And what do we get? We get hudan.
Hudan.
See? Okay, hudan. Then now we are going to write with the in the closed form.
Tanween.
Yes, we write it with the tanween. Hudan.
Then
Yeah, and wins. Just a minute, it's disappeared somehow. Yes, open the close the tanween and we get hudan. Let me go back to so this is how we get hudan for what is this now? We have done it for the rafa, right? In the same way, it is going to be exactly the same. I just want us to see
same.
it all, how this is happening. So huda yan. So huda yan I have opened up, and then because the ya has a fatha, before it is a fatha, the ya changes to the alif and we get hudan. And again what happens, we drop the alif and hudan. So we close the tanween and we get hudan. So for the rafa it was hudan. Again for the nasab it is hudan. And for the jar again it is going to be hudan. See, I will explain for the jar also so everyone
Islamia,
understands.
sorry, can I
I have
get
a
back
question.
to the Rafa one? It says Hudayun. So when
Mhm.
you open the tanween, should it be Hudayun?
Yes, yes, yes. Only the typing mistake doesn't,
Okay,
but the rule is going to be the same. If it is a
yes.
dhamma and before it is a fatha, the ya anyways is going to change into the alif, isn't it?
Yes.
Which
And at
sometimes
the
I have this.
end, sorry, at the end, the ya should be without the dots. Is that right?
Yes, yes, that's
Okay.
right. Yes, makes me happy when you point out because it makes me realize how much you have understand.
Assalamu alaikum. Why do you have to add that ya there?
Uh, where this ya,
Hello?
yes, this ya.
Yeah.
This is the writing style, Sister Shima. I've explained that whenever there is a fatha and we drop the fatha, the alif, then what is it that we write this ya and the ya should be without it.
So usually you put a alif, right?
No, so in the Naaqis, this is what we have been discussing
Oh,
since the
it's you have to
last
put ya.
session, that this is how we should write it, which is the writing style. Okay, this is the writing style of
So
the
in
Naaqis.
Naaqis after fatah, then it will be a ya, usually, right?
Yes, if, yes, after the fathatain, or if the alif is dropped, like we did it with the fi'al. So, certain cases have different writing styles. And then I will go back to it. Let's stick to this thing. Let me try to explain how it is that we get hudan for our rafa nasab and jar. And then when everyone has completed, the session is over, then I will explain it to you again because there are certain details, inshallah. So I will explain individually to you in the end. Okay, so rafa, nasab and jar, you see whether we started from hudayun, hudayan or hudayin, we apply the rule. And what is it that we are coming to? We are coming to hudan for the rafa, hudan for the nasab and hudan for the jar. So this is why when we look at this ayah, the second ayah of Surah Baqarah, ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ, and we just look at this part of هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. Although we do not understand when we look at it for the first time, so this can be either Rafa, can either be Nasab, or can either be Jar. So since we look at it and there isn't actually any reason to make it Nasab, nor there is any reason to make it Jar, this means that Hudan has to be in which status? It has to be in the Rafa status because this is the Mubtada and the Muttaqin is the Khabar or the Muta'allif to it. So this
But
is the,
sister,
yes,
excuse me,
Mrs.
sister,
Sarah.
in this the Hudan, some people have taken it as nasab also as a hal of the book. there is a condition of it's being nasab that it can become the hal of the book, that it is actively giving guidance forever. So it can be nasab and it can be the rafa.
Okay, maybe I haven't come across that explanation where it is hal, because the sigha of hal usually has to be either the ismul fa'il or ismul maf'ul. That is what is the most common. But inshallah, you definitely must have heard from someone. Yes, with this one, la
This
raiba
is the
fihi.
hal of the Quran is the hal of the kitab. That is, this book is going to give actively, it's actively giving guidance to everybody till the day of judgment. Matlab, there is two ways of looking at it. It's the rafa as well as the hal.
Okay.
Nasb.
So now I hope that it's clear that why is it we say that hudan has to be hudan, whether it is rafa nasab or it is jar. It's going to remain like this. Similarly, you see the similar to it is the ismul maf'ul. And I've taken the ismul maf'ul for the family 4. So whether it is mulqayun, mulqayan or mulqayin, all of it is going to come to what? Who wants to do this? Someone who is not saying anything. Sister Safina, if you can, then you can take this one, or Sister Shima, if you can, then you can. One of you take
So
this.
you want, I didn't hear properly. You want me to do this? Is that what you said?
Yes, complete it. Yes, complete it.
Okay.
Again, we will see this is the ismul maf'ul. So let us see how we get the rafa, nasab and jar for it.
Okay, so the before the ya we have the fatha. So again, the ya will change to alif mad mulqan.
Yes. Mulqan. Okay.
And then we drop the alif as usual because of the two sakins. So mulqan. And then we close the tanween and bring the ya back. So looking at it, because of the fatha and the qaf, it's going to affect all of the ya, so they would all be mulqan, mulqan, mulqan.
This is what I want to, yes, this is why I'm doing all the practice. You see, because of it, what is happening, the rafa, nasab and jar, because now we see that what we starting from the normal, but because we are applying the rule, hence we are able to see that why is it that it is mulkan in all the three status. And as Sister Shima said that, Sister Shima, see, normally it's going to be like this, mulkan. And you said that normally we write the alif after this, but because this is a Naaqis word, so here this is the writing style, we are not going to write the alif, rather we will write the ya without the dots. Is it clear to you now? This is the writing style of a Naaqis.
Yes.
Okay, so in this all three cases, the same rule we are going to apply. Say here also. So although I started with mulqayan, again ya has a fatha, and before it is a fatha, so ya changes into the alif, and what do we get? We get mulqan, and then we remove the alif, we get mulqan, and we write the mulqan like this. Also in the case of the jar, although we started with mulqayin, but what happens that the ya has a kasra and before it is a fatha, so the ya changes into the alif again. So in the three cases, whether the ya has a dhamma, before it is a fatha, ya changes into the alif. Ya has a fatha, before it is a fatha, ya changes into an alif. Ya has a kasra, before it is a kasra, the ya changes into an alif. And this is why for the rafa, nasab and jar, we get exactly the same word, which is mulqan. Does it make sense to everyone now? What I'm trying to explain.
Yes.
Okay. So this is what we have done it, that the whole of it. When they are doing the sarf kabeer of it, so first of all, we have derived this. Mulqan is going to be rafa is mulqan, nasab is mulqan, and jar is also mulqan. When we are going to the pair, so this is an exceptional rule for it, that the pair will not follow any rule. The pair will be on the normal pattern. So when we see the pair, what is going to be the pair for it? Mulqayani, mulqayani, mulqayani. Okay. Now because the rules are creating so much problem for you, so again there are going to be 3-4 rules being applied here. So when we come to the, I'm not going to go into the detail. If someone wants to understand, just send me a personal message and I will explain this, the talil for it. But for now, just let us keep it simple because it confuses everyone. So now we will apply the rule here, and the ya and the waw will merge together. And what is the normal version we see? It's mulqayuna. So instead of mulqayuna, we should get the brief version, which is mulqayuna. The ya is dropped. The ya will be dropped, and the qaf will take a dhamma, and this is how we get mulquna. Okay. Anyone who's interested in learning the taril, I will explain separately. Again, what should happen here? Mulqayina. What should mulqayina becomes?
Mulqina.
Mulqina. Mulqina. And again for this one, mulqina and mulqina. So this is how we get this. So let us read together. Mulqan, rafa, the nasab is mulqan and the jar is mulqan. Then the plural, I've highlighted it, and the note says that the pair will not follow any rule. It is going to remain normal. Mulqayani, mulqayani, mulqayani. Then mulqayuna becomes mulquna. Mulqayina will become mulqina. So mulquna, mulqina, mulqina. So this is the ismul fa'il. I will quickly try to complete the ismul. Sorry, that was the ismul mafool. I'll quickly try to do the ismul fa'il also, even if it takes like another 6-7 minutes. Okay, this one who wants to do? Mulqiyun. What should happen here? Sister Shima, if you can give it a try. What rule should we apply here? The ya has a dhamma and before it is a kasra. We have to do this. Let's see. Okay, Smile, you tell us then. She probably her mic is not working.
Sorry.
What rule should we apply here?
For mulqiyun, change to mulqin. Then
Mulqin, okay.
so then the ya should be dropped.
Okay.
So it will become mulqin, and then we close it back
Mulqin.
up.
Yes. It becomes mulqin and we close it. Okay. Now what should happen for it? Rasa?
Mulqiyan, then the fatha on the ya should be dropped and should be have a sukoon on. So
No, see, wait. The ya has a fatha and before it is a kasra, so we are not going to apply any rule here. Okay?
Oh.
So no rule is going to be applied here. This is what I want everyone to understand well, that when the ya has a fatha and before it is a kasra, this is the case. We are not going to apply any rule. Hence, we should write it as it is. Mulqiyan remains mulqiyan, no change into it. So this is how we do it. Mulqiyan. Yes, the alif comes. Because we haven't applied any rule over here, there is no talil being done. So we write it in the normal form when we write it with the alif. When we apply a talil, a rule is being applied on it, and something is dropped or something is changed, then we are going to write just the ya. But now here we see that there is no change being done in the siga. The alif will remain. That is the normal way of writing it. Okay. Now this one, mulqiyun.
Mulkiyan. So it the ya
Mulqiyin.
mulkiyan. So
Hmm.
mulkiyan the kasra turns
The ya changes into the ya takes a sukoon on it.
yes. So mulkin,
Okay.
then because they can't have two sukoons together, you cut off the ya and it's a ya to so mulkin, and then you close the bracket. Close the noon bracket. They close the they call it
Right.
the double
Exactly.
fatha bracket. I mean double
Exactly.
kasra.
Yes. So the rafa is going to be mulqin. This is what Sister Safina was asking. The previous session, I said I'm going to explain in detail. So mulqin, mulqiyan is the nasab, and mulqin is the jar. So mulqin can either be rafa or it can be jar. Okay? In the ismul maf'ul, it is everything is the same. See again, I will say. Or we have done this talil, you can watch it again. So, but just understand that when it is ismul maf'ul, the rafa, nasab, and the jar, all of them are exactly the same. Mulqan, mulqan, and mulq. When it is the ismul fa'il, the rafa and the jar are going to be the same. Mulqin, mulqin, and the nasab is going to be the normal pattern. Mulqiyan. Okay, this much is clear. Now let us do all the three of them together. This is
Sister Samia,
yes.
can you just again explain me why that nasab version mulki yan you don't put ya there instead of alif?
Sister, I just
Because it
have
is
explained it.
Naaqis.
But we haven't done any talil. Have we done any talil on the siga? Have we applied any rule on the siga? Mulqiyan, we haven't applied any rule. Nothing is dropped, nothing is changed. This is what I explained when we were doing it right now. Because nothing is being changed, no rule is being applied on the siga. Mulqan is the normal, right? I've just opened it so that you understand what is happening. This doesn't have to do anything. Why I have opened it? Just to make you understand that ya has a fatha before it is a kasra. This is a case when we are not going to apply any rule. So let us highlight it just so that why I have written it this way, to make you understand that because of this, what is happening, we are not able to apply any rule. Can we apply any rule on this? No.
No.
We can apply here when there is a dhamma and before is a kasra, we make it a
Sukun.
sukoon.
Yeah.
When there is a kasra and before it is a kasra, we make it a sukoon.
Yeah.
But here is a fatha and before a kasra, so we cannot change. This place, no rule we can apply. Because we cannot apply any rule over here, it hasn't taken any talil, hasn't taken any irregularity rule, so it is normal. Because it is normal, so we write it in the normal way with the alif. Is it clear now?
Yeah, because it doesn't make use of any Naaqis rule, so
Exactly.
it goes the normal
Yes.
pattern. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Jazakallah khair.
Okay, so the same thing, the ismul file and the ismul mafool are not going to take any irregularity rule in the pairs. This one we have done ourselves. Rafa is going to be mulkin, nasab is going to be mulkiyan, and jar is going to be mulkin. The pair is going to be normal without taking any rules or changes on it. So mulqayani, mulqiyani, mulqiyani, mulqiyaini, mulqiyaini. Okay. This one, although there is a talil for it, but again, I am not going to get into it because most of you get confused when 3, 4 rules are being applied together. So we'll just do it easy way. What do you think this should become? Mulqiyuna, what should it become?
Mulkhuna.
Yes, mulkuna. Mulkuna. Okay. What should this become?
Mulkhina.
Mulkina. Mulqina and mulkina. Okay, alhamdulillah, this is all for today. Although I had to do a dua, let us do this dua quickly. And there was another
Sister
donation.
Samia, I have a
Inshallah,
question.
yes, sister.
How is that mulkiyuna becomes mulkuna? That when you have a dhamma and a kasra before it, doesn't it become a sukun?
Yes, but again, the thing is that when I apply 3, 4 rule together on a seva, then most of the sisters they get troubled. They don't understand it. So this is what I say. Someone wants to understand it, I can explain it after the session. We will apply the same rule, and this is how we get the seva. It will become a sukum, then istimai sakinain, drop the ya. We cannot drop the bow. You can stay with me and I will explain. Let me quickly discuss this dua and then you can stay and we will talk about it, inshallah.
Okay.
So the dua of the day is this dua. Rabbi ibnili indaka baitan fil jannah. Whose dua it is? Someone please talk about it.
Hazrat Astia.
Yes, Hafi, what do you know about it? Please share.
That she made this dua. She is the Fran's wife, and the occasion I do not really remember it, but I know that she made this dua. I think when Fir'aun was stopping her to practice her deen.
Yes, was making it very difficult for her. So this is the dua that she made, and what is the dua she made? That she asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make her home in the baitan fil jannah, close to him. So what a beautiful dua that she had. Oh, she was the wife of a king, and she had everything, like definitely all the necessities, plus all the luxuries one can think, because she was the wife of the king. But you see, she wasn't really concerned about the world, and she was concerned about the akhirah, and she wanted a house in Jannah. So very beautiful lesson. We cannot get into much details about it, but what is the word we see here? What is the Naaqis word?
Ibni.
Yes. Banuya. So it's Bab Daraba. Bana Yabni. So it means to make. And this is something I want to talk about, the Durood Sharif. Inshallah, I want to talk about the Swali. Inshallah, we will talk about it in the next session. Those of you who want to stay and know about the certain things we skipped can stay, and the rest of you can be. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك.
Assalamu alaikum.
وعليكم